Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to our channel, the Eaton Squad. My name is Addie. So on today's video is the most recent travel ban extension to the Philippines that will now last on July 31st of 2021. Indonesia being the new country added to the list of travel ban countries to the Philippines. Details coming right up. So most of you have probably heard the news on the travel ban alert that we just did in our community. But to those who have not heard or who have not known the details of the travel ban extension yet, this is the video for you. Yes, the travel ban is now extended until July 31st of 2021. And there is one country that is added on the list, and this is Indonesia. That brings it to 8 total countries now on travel ban to the Philippines. So let's go over the details of the travel restriction currently imposed to these countries being banned to travel to the Philippines until July 31st of 2021. The IATF approves the extension of the travel restrictions currently in place on India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, United Arab Emirates, Oman, and the newly added country is Indonesia. All passengers coming from or who have been to Indonesia within 14 days immediately preceding arrival in the Philippines, except Filipinos returning pursuant to government-initiated repatriation programs or as part of non-government repatriation programs and special commercial flights allowed under existing IATF resolutions shall be prohibited from entering the country effective 12:01 of July 16 of 2021 Manila time until 23:59 hour of July 31 of 2021. So what they meant by this, if you have a travel history from Indonesia and you want to go home to the Philippines, you are not allowed to enter this time unless you are part of the repatriation program of the Philippine government or the non-repatriation program of the Philippine government, special flights organized by the Philippine government for passengers from Indonesia going back to the Philippines. If you don't belong to those flights, that you just book your flight on your own coming from Indonesia, or you have a travel history of 14 days within 14 days from Indonesia, then you are barred from entering the Philippines until July 31st of 2021. This also applies to other 7 countries that are on the list: the India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Oman, Pakistan, and the United Arab Emirates. So please be guided of this travel ban extension to these countries that I mentioned. Effective immediately, all passengers who have been to Indonesia within 14 days immediately preceding arrival in the Philippines, arriving before 12:01 hour of July 16 Manila time, shall not be prohibited from entering the Philippines, but shall be required to undergo an absolute facility-based 14-day quarantine period withstanding a negative RT-PCR test result. So this has been done because today is already July 18. But when this travel ban has started, those who are on their way to the Philippines coming from Indonesia are still allowed to enter, but they have to undergo a strict facility-based quarantine of 14 days with a negative swab test result. Filipinos and foreign passengers merely transiting through Indonesia shall be subject to the following rules. Number 1, all passengers, whether Filipinos or foreigners, merely transiting through Indonesia shall not be deemed as having coming from or having been to said country, provided that they stayed in the airport the whole time and were not cleared for entry into such country by its immigration authorities. Or number 2, upon arrival in the Philippines, passengers covered by the immediately preceding paragraph need not complete a full 14 days facility-based quarantine, but shall comply with existing testing and quarantine protocols of the national government. So what they meant by this, if you are just transiting in Indonesia, for example, you are coming from Dubai, your layover is Indonesia before you proceed to the Philippines, you are allowed to enter the Philippines if you are one of those permitted travelers to enter the Philippines, like Filipino citizens or foreign nationals that are permitted to enter. So meaning you are just in Indonesia just for layover or transiting purposes, and you don't need to go through the immigration process while you are there in Indonesia. So you are allowed to enter the Philippines. You are not barred from entering. But please take note, this is only for transiting passengers in Indonesia. And also, you are not required to undergo the strict facility-based 14 days mandatory quarantine. But you have to undergo what is the current quarantine protocols in the Philippines. So if you are coming from the green list country, your quarantine is 7 days. But if you are coming from a country that's not part of the green list, you will do the 10 days quarantine. So for a recap, these are the 8 countries now currently on travel ban to the Philippines until July 31st of 2021. These are Indonesia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, United Arab Emirates, Oman, and Indonesia. If you are one of those travelers coming from these countries that I mentioned, coming from these 8 countries, unfortunately, you are not allowed to enter the Philippines unless you are part of the government repatriation, the non-government repatriation program, the special flights conducted by the Philippine government to fly to the Philippines coming from the barred countries. If you are not one of those, unfortunately, you are not allowed to travel to the Philippines, even if you are a Filipino citizen, a resident of these 8 countries, or a foreign national coming from this country. You are only allowed to enter the Philippines if you are just transiting on these 8 countries that are currently on travel ban to the Philippines. So again, this travel ban will last until July 31st of 2021. So I am not sure if they are going to extend it again or they are going to lift the travel ban already. I will keep you guys posted if there's any changes from now until the travel ban is lifted to the Philippines from these 8 countries. So please be guided on this travel advisory from the Bureau of Immigration. So this is our quick update for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family whom you know that can use this video as reference. If you are new to our channel, welcome. We do travel updates, and if you are not a subscriber yet, please consider subscribing and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you will be notified on updates like this. And to our subscribers and new subscribers, thank you so much for the continued support and trust to our channel, the Eaton Squad. I hope to see you guys in our next travel update. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless everyone. Bye.
Bye.